The pace of change has been jarring to the millions of people who regularly boat, fish and swim on the lake, with the National Park Service recently laying down new steel platforms to extend launch ramps that no longer reach the water. Some marinas have been wrenched from their moorings and moved because they have been left marooned in baking sediment. Seen from above in time-lapse over the years, Lake Mead looks like a spindly puddle withering away in the Mojave Desert, as nearby Las Vegas, which gets almost all of its water from the lake and went a record 240 days last year without rain, balloons in size. The West's ambitions have crunched into the searing reality of the Anthropocene. The Colorado River rises in the lofty Rocky Mountains before tumbling through 1,450 miles of mountains, canyons and deserts until it reaches the Sea of Cortez in Mexico. Seasonally melting snow has traditionally replenished the river, but snowpack on mountaintops in the west has declined by an average of 19% since the 1950s, while soaring temperatures have dried out soils and caused more water to evaporate. This morphing climate, plus the rampant extraction of water for everything from golf courses in Phoenix to vegetables growing in California to gardens in Denver, means the Colorado fizzles out in dry riverbed before it even reaches its Mexican delta. Only 1.8% of the West is not in some level of drought, with California, Arizona and New Mexico all experiencing their lowest rainfalls on record over the previous 12 months. Lakes in Arizona are now so low they can't be used to fight the fires themselves spurred by drought, while the retreat of Lake Folsom in California uncovered the wreckage of a plane that crashed 56 years ago. The governor of Utah has resorted to asking people to pray for rain. The heat has been otherworldly, with Phoenix recently enduring a record 6 straight days above 115 F, 46.1 C. A heat dome that settled over the usually mild Pacific Northwest pushed temperatures to reach a record 108 F, 42.2 C in Seattle and caused power lines to melt and roads to buckle in Portland. A few hundred miles north, a fast-moving wildfire incinerated the town of Lytton in British Columbia the day after it set a Canadian temperature record of 121 F, 49.4 C. Barely into summer, hundreds of people have already died from the heat along the west coast. The West has gone through periods like this megadrought, with only occasional respite, for the past 2 decades. But scientists have made clear the current conditions would be virtually impossible without human-caused climate change, pointing to a longer-term aridification of the region. All of the water conservation efforts that have kept shortages at bay until now risk being surpassed by the rising heat. The amount of water now available across the U.S. West is well below that of any time in modern civilization, said Park Williams, a hydroclimatologist at Columbia University. Research by Williams and colleagues last year analyzed tree rings to discover the current dry period is rivaled only by a spell in the late 1500s in a history of drought that reaches back to around 800, with the climate crisis doubling the severity of the modern-day drought. As the globe warms up, the West will dry out, said Williams. The past 2 years have been shocking to me. I never thought I would see downtown La reach 111 F, as it's so close to the ocean, but we have some of the driest conditions in 1,200 years, so the dice are loaded for more heat waves and fires. This could be the tip of the iceberg. We may well see much longer, tougher droughts.